What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to How Do I Want to Do This. This is our series where we take a look at all playable options available to players in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, then we rank them on a scale of 1 to 10 and either build them or fix them depending on how they rank. Now today we begin our talks on the Illusion Wizard, the one that makes a lot of things that are not quite what they seem. Although sometimes you make things that don't seem like what they are into things that they now are. It's interesting. We'll get into that here in just a second. But before we do, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Of course, we are coming up on our goal of 5,000 subscribers. So hopefully we will get there very, very soon. Thank you all for your support. So yeah, the Illusion Wizard is a very interesting one. Obviously focusing on the illusion magic of making things that appear to be there that are not actually there. Although this one can make things appear to be there that aren't there, and then make them actually there. Kind of cool. But is it as good as some of the other options that we've been looking at? The list is pretty long, so we'll just have to see right now. So at level 2, we get a couple of features. Number 1 is Illusion Savant. We're not going to rank this just because so many other wizards get something that's basically the same thing, just depending on what spell school that it falls into. But so yeah, we get half the cost of both the time and the money in order to copy down spells that are illusion spells. Really cool, but like I said, there are so many wizards that get this exact thing. I'm not going to rank it. It is what it is. However, what we do get that's unique is Improved Minor Illusion. Now, of course, this is one of the most well-known cantrips out there, besides like Mage Hand, and it's really good. But we get to make it even better. So with this, not only do we get this cantrip if we don't have it already, we also get to add to it. Now, if we have already taken it and then we now would be getting it at this time, we actually get to choose a different one, which is really cool, and it just counts as an extra one. We don't have to worry about how many we technically can or cannot know at this point. Really good stuff there. I like the flexibility. Then when we do cast that minor illusion, we can create both a sound and an image with a single casting of the cantrip. Now normally when you do this, it is only one or the other. You cannot do both. Remember, it is either just a static image, can't move, or you can make a sound, right? This allows you to do both, which is really cool. I don't know that I would say that this is busted by any means, but definitely is an improvement over the cantrip, right? This is a cantrip, so it can be spammed, and so this can be really cool. Just this past week, of course, my party and I are currently in the third act of Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and so we had a couple characters using minor illusion to look like there were some bats, and then the other ones had to make it sound like there were bats. So yeah, we couldn't do both looking like a bat and sounding like a bat. It had to be one doing each across multiple casters. But so yeah, it's limited in that way. It would have been nice if we had an illusion wizard, but alas, we do not. But yeah, that's something that's nice in being able to kind of pull double duty on that. Overall, it's nothing busted. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's a cool feature, a cool buff to an already decent cantrip, but I don't think it's anything earth-shattering, and we definitely have gotten better here at level 2. At level 6, we get Malleable Illusions, and this is a very interesting spell as it points out some very interesting points about how illusions work in general, and then makes you a little bit better at it, and we'll get to that. So with this, whenever we do cast an illusion spell that has a duration of 1 minute or longer, we can use our action to change the nature of that illusion. So that is using whatever parameter that illusion normally has, we can change it. And that only works, of course, as long as we can see it. Now, this is very interesting because this specifically says that we can use our action to change what the illusion is as if we want to. Now, a lot of illusion spells do not allow this. Unless the spell specifically says, then you can change it, or then it can move, then it can da-da-da-da-da. It cannot do that. It is a static image, and it can only do word for word what the book says. That makes them a little bit more limited, right? You cannot go out of your way to change the nature of these things. This allows you to. So there's some very interesting wording here, and I guarantee that a ton of people I guarantee it, have broken this on other casters that are using illusion spells, right? I think that a lot of people try to use something like this and do something like this when a spell cannot do that. That is reserved specifically for this. So with that, I'm going to rank this based on, of course, rules as written, but just be careful with using this on a different caster because this is specifically for this. So quit stealing things from other people. This is cool though. A lot of your illusion spells are very limited in what they can do, and this allows you to actually remove a lot of those limits, which is good. Obviously, you're limited to once per action, so once per every few seconds, but still, that can definitely make a big difference. And of course, as you get access to better and better spells, I'm thinking, of course, Major Image, once we get to that level, that can really change things around just because a lot of the guardrails end up coming off with spells at a higher level like that. Overall, this is not too bad. I think this is another 7 out of 10. It teeters on 8, I would say. It is a little bit better than Improved Minor Illusion, but still, I don't think it's anything busted. But it certainly helps with a mechanic that a lot of other casters tend to break. This is a very commonly broken rule, and so it's really cool that we actually get to do this rules as written. At level 10, we get Illusory Self, and this allows you to defend yourself just a little bit better by use of illusions. So with this, whenever we are about to possibly take an attack, we can throw our illusion in the way and actually have it take the attack instead, and that way we do not take any damage. With this, we can only, of course, use this once per rest. Now, this is very interesting, and there is one part of the wording that really hurts this. When a creature makes an attack roll against you, not when a creature hits you with an attack. Those are two very different things. That means if something says, I'm making an attack roll against the wizard, that's when you have to call it. Not when the person says, I crit you, right? There are two very different distinctions here, and so this is definitely the worst of the two. This is before you know whether it hit. This is before you know whether it crit. This is as long as it is making an attack roll against you. So unfortunately, that does hurt this just a little bit. Still, though, as a wizard, having something that is defensive like this in making sure that an attack is going to miss you, guaranteed, it's not bad, right? It's really not bad to have something like this. Of course, if something has multi-attack, you're just out. It is what it is. But still, I think that this can definitely come up a decent amount, and of course you'll use it as much as you can. I just wish we had this a little bit more. I wish this was more so on like an intelligence modifier times per day, or maybe even proficiency bonus times per day, whatever it happens to be. That's more so what I would have liked to have seen, but either way, it's still not too bad. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I think it's a little bit better just because it does give us that defensive get out of jail free card there, and definitely can be good. It would have been a 9 if it was based on us knowing whether or not it hit, because we might end up wasting it on an attack that missed anyway. Finally, at level 14, we get Illusory Reality, and now all of these illusions that we have now been playing with and having as fake, they might just be real now. So with this, whenever we are using an illusion spell of first level or higher, so not our minor illusion from before, we can choose one inanimate, non-magical object that is part of the illusion and make that object real. You can do this on your turn as a bonus action while the spell is ongoing, and it remains real for 1 minute. For example, you can create an illusion of a bridge over a chasm and then make it long enough for you and your allies to cross, and then of course you could drop it and it still looks like an illusion, and then people who are chasing you just fall to their deaths. Cool. The object cannot deal damage or directly harm anyone. This is a very cool feature. This is very cool. This somewhat reminds me of like Creation Bard kind of things, because you're going to be getting access to a lot of really cool stuff with Major Image at this point. Again, I mentioned that spell because that is going to be really the main one I'm looking for. And remember, when you cast Major Image at 6th level or higher, you no longer have to concentrate on that spell. So you could do a lot of different things with this. You could make a cage and then make the cage real. You can do the bridge, like what this says, and run across the bridge and then keep it as an illusion, and then all of the enemies that are chasing you just fall to their deaths because they think there's a bridge. There's a lot. There's a lot here that you can do. There's hundreds of ways that you can use this. This is a 10 out of 10 feature. I don't care. This is great. I do hate that it comes online so late at level 14, but because the guardrails are so much less when you are looking at what Major Image does. Now, I will say this really only works with Major Image, at least in the way that you get the most value out of it, but still it's really quite good, and I think this really elevates you once you get to the later levels. So what do we think of the Illusion Wizard? This one's cool. I really think that I don't think that it's busted like what I've seen some people think. I think it's good, and really I think that it is as good as the player is creative. This is an endless playground for any kind of a creative player. And I think that there are a lot of different ways that you can really take advantage of all of these things. The improved minor illusion is just a small example, and I think it works really, really well, being able to do both images and sounds. I think that you can make a lot of things work with that. This works for a stealth element if you're trying to get people to move out of the way of something. It can do a lot of different things, and that's just what's really cool about the Illusion School, is that if you want to be super creative, you're going to get a ton out of this subclass, and you're going to have an absolute blast. I do not think that it is as busted as something like the Chronergist. I don't think that it is as busted as our other 10 out of 10s, unfortunately. And even then, I still don't think it's quite to the 9 out of 10 levels. I think there could be an argument for 9, for low 9, but to me, I think it's a high 8 out of 10. I think it's good. I really think it's worth playing. I don't think that there is enough here that is bad that I would ever say that you shouldn't play this. I think this is a ton of fun, and the more creative and off the wall that you get with this, the more fun you're going to have with it. So let me know what you thought down below. Was I too harsh? Should it have been a little bit better or worse? Let me know in the comments down below. We're going to be building one later this week, and I am looking forward to that. And until next time, stay safe out there, stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.